course I did that wrong. Anyway, I'm looking for another thing here. Ha, never mind. Not important. Good afternoon, America. I am one very happy guy. I'm wearing my hat, my favorite hat. And I'm not a hat person. I'm definitely not a ball cap person. This was given to me by a person that I care for a great deal. Former colleague, worked with her when I first moved here to Tennessee. I worked with her for a couple of years at a place called the Renaissance Center in Dixon. Her name is Sydney Rogers Cohen. Sydney Rogers when I knew her. Anyway, Sydney gave me this hat just at one point when I had posted, I need one of those. Today it was an inspiration. It was an inspiration, however, forgot to wear the damn thing. I know. I guess the excitement, the desire to be where I was why I forgot to wear it. Whoever just came on, glad to see you here. What I will tell you is, I had one of the most extraordinary experiences I've had in a very long time. I went to the Hands Off event, rally, protest, whatever you want to call it, in Cookeville, Tennessee today. In fact, early on, after the initial speaker telling us what was going on, how it was going, and another young man had been up, I went up and spoke. And gosh, it's kind of cool, because this was in Cookeville, Tennessee. Cookeville, Tennessee is in Putnam County. Now, Tennessee is a red state with a couple of blue bastions, Chattanooga, Memphis, Nashville. That's everything else is deep, deep crimson red and very MAGA, very, very MAGA. Oh well, that's their problem, because today we made some noise. I won't know for sure until I talk to the people at Indivisibles and the Hands Off people, which I will be doing, to know exactly what the estimated attendance was. But if I had to guess by what I saw and what I recorded, there were about 1,500 to 2,000 people there in very, very red-ass Tennessee, in one of the redder parts of the state. One of the first things that I said when I got up to the podium area was to tell folks that I was there from Van Buren County, which got a tremendous amount of applause. And then I explained that I am the chairman of the Democratic Party here in Van Buren County, which got a lot more applause, for the very reason that we were there. Because we know where we are. We know who these people are. We know how they act. We know that, to a degree, folks like myself are targets. Didn't matter. Not today. Not today. There was no fear. There was no, oh, well, they might hurt us. They might. In fact, there were surprisingly few Trumpers there, going through in their pickup trucks, yelling their things, flying their Trump flags, looking like the flotilla sinking in the whatever bay that was when they did. But there were a handful of them. And you know what happened to them? Nothing. They were allowed to do their thing. They were allowed to be there at a gathering where, well, folks, if you feel that way, good, you feel that way. However, wrong time, wrong place. And in several instances, there were a few instances where they tried to get loud. they got shouted down. They got shouted down big time. A couple of thousand people can make some real noise. And we did. And that's the whole point of this. I went, I saw, I stood with the people. And they know, and I knew, we are not alone. We're looking at this country right now, and we're seeing what's going on, and you know what? No. We said, keep your dirty, filthy hands off. This is our country. This is our country just as much as it is yours. And we believe in the rule of law. We believe in what democracy can be. We believe in how much good we can do for each other. And we stood there with each other. Said, I haven't felt this way in a very long time. There was one question that was missed early on. People, the original speaker asked, for how many of you is this your first protest? And there was a lot of noise. And then they asked, well, for how many of you is this not your first protest? And there was a good deal of noise. The one question they didn't ask, and I wish they had, for how many of you at this kind of protest have you been arrested? Because I'd have been making some noise. I have been. There were a lot of people there my age. A lot of people there my age. And older. And older. One of the people that I am most inspired by, I've told you about her. And if you look at the videos I posted, you will see her. And you will see that Betty White is her doppelganger. Because I think she's the OG. Jetta McMillan is the chairman of the Democratic Party in a neighboring county. And I've told you the story of she sat there one time patting my leg in her very, very Betty White kind of manner and complimenting me and ending it with, but you're obnoxious. Well, I tried not to be obnoxious today. I tried not to be. Just some people, they may have seen me as that because I made a lot of noise. I made a whole lot of noise. When you go through the videos of the protest itself, many, many times starting to chant 86-47, and had a wonderful time as we were leaving the event with a truckload of Trumper millennials, 20-something driving around in a pickup with its bullets on it and his big Trump flag and kids standing in the back of it, and and I started the 86-47 chant. And then the kid, well, what's that mean? And I had to explain it to him because it was obvious you've never worked in a restaurant. Kind of pretty obvious looking at the truck you got and your age. You probably never worked a damn day in your life. That's okay. There were young people there. Some of them Trumpers. That's disheartening. However, there were a lot of people there my age. There were a lot of people there a little older than me. Jetta is. I ain't got nothing on her as far as energy. That's a force of nature right there, people. But, yeah, plenty of us. Plenty of boomers. Also, plenty of millennials. Plenty of them. A couple thousand people there. Many, many young people. Many, many people. 30, 40, 50. A lot of dogs. Had a good time with that too. But this was an event that made a statement. And the statement is, no, we're not just going to sit quietly back while you strip away our freedoms. We're not going to sit quietly back while you take away necessary programs. We're not going to sit quietly back while you demonize people who are trying to do good. We're not going to sit for that. We will stand, and we will push back. And if that doesn't suit you, oh well, that's your problem. Because we're here. We're loud. And frankly, a lot of the things that you believe in, they're meaningless. You're trying to vilify people who are just trying to help other people, and you're praying to someone who can do nothing but hurt other people. And that's why you will keep your filthy hands off. America today was big. We pushed back, and we pushed back hard. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how many people were out across the nation. I hope you were one of them. We need more of you. We need more people out there. We need more noise. I'm not talking about violence ever. Ever. The things that people are doing to Tesla dealerships, the damage they're doing to people's cars, that's not doing any good. That sort of violence serves nothing. However, a peaceful protest, standing up and saying, "Oh, hell no." No, that's important, people. Do it. Get out there. Make a difference. You know, one thing that I was sure of while I was watching all of that today, while I was getting so fired up, a thing that I was sure of was come 2026, you don't even have to wait till 28. Come 2026, November 2026, only a year and a few months away, we can end this madness. We can get their hands off. Yeah, we're going to suffer between now and then. All you have to do is take a look at what has happened to the economy in the course of the 8 weeks that this moron has been back. To know deep in your heart, a difference must be made, and we can do it. I saw it today. I heard it today. I haven't felt this fired up and this ready for this call to action since the early 70s, back when I did get arrested for protests. Oh well, you get arrested for unruly conduct, you get arrested for disturbing the peace, any number of misdemeanors out there. They're worth it. Get out there. Be heard. As always, I'm going to post a couple of links where you can help this channel, where you can keep this sort of thing going. I love you, America. Share this shit.